Batman and Superman both had groundbreaking animated series in the 90s, which set the foundation for the DC animated universe. But despite being one of the pillars in DC Comics' superhero trinity, Wonder Woman has yet to feature in an animated series of her own. Although Wonder Woman and her extended cast had plenty of early depictions in various merchandise and marketing materials, they used slightly different animated artistic designs than the ones we would eventually see in the Justice League cartoons. Today, we take a look at all of the Wonder Woman that could have been.
Showtime, everybody!
Engagement.
They can talk all they like.
That means everything.
Don't forget that. You heard it, folks!
Mattel planned a toy line for girls in 1993 called Wonder Woman and the Star Riders, along with an intended animated series that was ordered to pilot. And like the toy line, would have featured Wonder Woman leading a group of 4 female superheroes, 2 of which were already from DC Comics continuity, Dolphin from Aquaman Comics and Ice from Justice League International, along with newcomers invented for the series, Solara with fire-based abilities, and Star Lily with earth-based plant manipulation similar to Poison Ivy. All the Star Riders rode winged horses, and Wonder Woman had a unicorn named Nightshine. The sparkling superheroines, that was their tagline, would have battled the villainess Persia, who could control animals. Although Mattel started on storyboards, they ultimately never made a pilot because they decided not to make the toys. However, a short comic book story had already been created and was eventually distributed as a premium in breakfast cereal boxes. Now, this wasn't the first animated Wonder Woman project, however, as she had a minor appearance in The Brady Kids as a guest star in 1972, where they traveled back in time to the ancient Olympic Games. 2 years later would bring the first live-action Wonder Woman TV movie, starring Kathy Lee Crosby, and the legendary TV series with Linda Carter that ran on ABC from 1975 to 79, and used a half-animated opening main title. She was a recurring main character in the Super Friends cartoons from 1973 to 86, with various voice actors, originally by Shannon Farnan, later by Connie Caulfield in the legendary Superpower show, and lastly by B.J. Ward for the Galactic Guardians incarnation, who reprised the character in a guest appearance on the 1988 Superman animated series by Ruby Spears. Now, I know you come to the Watchtower Database for the DCAU goodness, so let's get to it. The Superman and Batman magazine comic series from 1993 ran for 8 issues and showed Batman in the style of Batman animated series alongside characters from the wider DC universe like Superman, Captain Marvel, and of course Wonder Woman, before any of them had actually appeared on screen in the DC animated universe. Midway in the issue is another double splash page by Ty Templeton, depicting various comic-style villains alongside BTAS versions of the Joker, Catwoman, and the Penguin. Most notably, the Cheetah is featured with longer hair, much different from her look in the Justice League cartoons. Issue number 1 also includes the Hero File, which shares more history on her side of this early DC animated universe, alongside this amazing artwork by Kevin Nolan, who drew many of the initial character designs for Batman the Animated Series. The biostats state the familiar. Her alter ego is Princess Diana. Yes, Princess is her first name, even though her last name is Prince in her usual secret identity. Princess Prince. She is an ambassador and superhero. So far, so good. Her mother's name is Hippolyta. That ends in an E. She was Hippolyta spelled with an A in Justice League. The Mascara, aka Paradise Island, okay. Oh, she is based in Boston. That's cool. Boston was her first home in man's world after she left the Mascara in post-crisis continuity. She's 5 feet, 11 inches, weighs 135 pounds, eyes blue, hair black, and why does this feel like I'm reading a dating profile now? The Hero File itself reveals info on Diana's history, how 5 Greek goddesses used spirits from the Cavern of Souls to bring Hippolyta, and the Amazons to life with spirits, the last of which was used for Diana as she was sculpted from clay by Hippolyta. A tournament was held on the Mascara to see which warrior was best suited to travel to man's world and stop Ares from destroying mankind. Hippolyta asked Diana not to participate, but she disobeyed and won. She was given a costume patterned after an American flag worn by her namesake Diana Trevor, an American pilot who crash-landed on Paradise Island years earlier, actually the mother of test pilot Steve Trevor. According to the bio and post-crisis comics continuity, Steve became one of Diana's friends in Boston, but we know from Justice League's The Savage Time that he was a soldier in World War II and met Diana during the time travel escapade. So far, this version of Wonder Woman doesn't match what we came to know from the DCAU canon. Her other allies are depicted in the clouds, like Air Force Officer Etta Candy, Police Inspector Ann Delicado, and best friends Professor Julia Capitellis and her daughter Vanessa, who later became the villain Silver Swan. Other villains include Ares, matching his characterization in JLU's Hawk and Dove. Cersei has her ego in Animal Thing from JLU's This Little Piggy, but Cheetah has her comics origin, possessing the power of a cat goddess. Dr. Psycho sadly never appeared in the DCAU proper, but had a major role in the Harley Quinn animated series. Issue number 4 depicts the character in some pretty sick fan art created by Mary Dodge from Las Vegas, unknowingly making her mark on Wonder Woman's very thorough animated history today. She is featured on the cover of number 6, an issue that also includes the story Truth or Dare, written by Christopher Priest with art by Mike Parobeck and Rick Burchett. Here she battles the sorceress Cersei, who looks much more 90s than her appearance in Justice League Unlimited, but that's to be expected. And there's also a cool pull-out poster where she is drawn by Ty Templeton. She's back in issue number 8 for the Justice League special, as you can see by the cover. Chapter 3 introduces Wonder Woman, where she recounts her origin and reminisces over the Justice League, picturing her allies Blue Beetle, Captain Atom, Martian Manhunter, and Booster Gold. None of these guys were on the cover art. That same year in 1993, Golden Books started publishing various children's activity books with the animated-inspired DC Superheroes merchandising license, with Batman from BTAS alongside some other heroes looking very different than their later DCAU depictions. Wonder Woman specifically appeared in Golden Books Sticker Fun, Paint with Water, Super Coloring Book with art by Eric Dosher and Mike DiCarlo, as well as a giant coloring book, paint and marker book, and Gallery of Heroes Trace and Fun. She was drawn in these Golden Books with curlier hair, similar to her George Perez look in the early 90s comics. She was featured in a True Story of Wonder Woman book by Louise Simonson in 1995, which depicted an origin more in line with the comics, leaving Themyscira from Man's World to challenge the rise of Ares, god of war, in his comics accurate blue armor, rather than the Imperium's invasion that prompted her arrival in the Justice League animated series. There were also more story-focused books, like the 25-page Superman and Wonder Woman, which featured the pair of heroes at the opening of the Natural History Museum, where the animals come to life. They banish the evil magic and save the museum by making the villain Mr. Mxyzptlk disappear. Attack of the Robot, Lookin' Tattoos, was another storybook which saw a group of heroes team up to fight an overtly criminal Lex Luthor. I owned this book as a child. I've recently rediscovered my copy with half of the temporary tattoos missing, already used. I like the Green Lantern tattoos the most, back when I first read this book in first grade. Hey. This is the hardest part of the video. I forgot my temporary tattoo. It's not white yet, but I'm gonna use this paper towel and we'll have a tattoo. Hopefully James is speeding this up in post so it doesn't take as long. I don't even have a timer. Oh no, hopefully that is long enough. Nice. I like it. Across the pond in the UK, a magazine called I Love to Read Batman, published by Redden, used reprints of the Superman and Batman magazine, with additional exclusive content available only in the UK at the time. It also folded in material created from the Golden Books licensing when it became I Love to Read Batman and Superman, in a hodgepodge collection of stories that never saw publication elsewhere. The series ran for 64 total issues. She appears in issue number 9 on the cover in a unique headshot, and the main feature story, The Pandora Plague, where Wonder Woman battles monsters that are accidentally unleashed from the fabled Pandora's box. Rather than Boston, she is based in Gateway City, which aligns with her stories from Golden Books. Issue number 9 also featured a boxing quiz, literally a quiz about different types of boxes, with some new animated Wonder Woman art, as well as a Greek maze where you follow her rope to see which of the ugly monsters she has tied up. She's featured alongside Batman from BTAS on the cover for issue number 18, which also came with a free Mr. Choose bar. Unfortunately, we don't have this one on file, so I can't speak to the content, nor can I eat the 25-year-old Mr. Choose bar on camera. Sorry, folks. Another Wonder Woman story, Seeds of War, is in issue number 21. Back in Gateway City, Diana stops a fight between a group of kids that are mentally manipulated by Ares, looking the same as we last saw him in Superman and Batman magazine. From issues number 22 and onward, the series no longer investigated the outer corners of this early DCAU and only featured Batman and Superman from their respective series. You know something sad? Our archives are missing I Love to Read issues number 3, 6, 16, 18, and 19, as well as many of the later issues. So I can't speak for sure about any additional Wonder Woman appearances there. Let us know if you have them. Hit us up at info@watchtowerdatabase.com or add us on Twitter, DM on Facebook or Instagram, or find us on Patreon. I sense a segue.
Kraft Macaroni and Cheese presents new DC superheroes.
Hey everybody, I'm here watching the new Wonder Woman 84 movie with my family. This is the Kendricks, Joe, my mom, and my dad. They've supported me over the years as I've done things like make a YouTube channel and stuff. They're not the only ones. We've got a Patreon page at patreon.com/DCAU Watchtower. And we have a couple of new people who've joined us this month. Ryan Fox, thanks for being here. We got Joe B, not Joe K. We got Nate Charles and Dylan Pollock. Thank you all for joining the Patreon. Every video we shout out our new Patreons. Samir Bakhta has upped his patronage this month. He went to a higher tier, so we appreciate you doing that, Samir. And we always have these guys. Robert Sterling, on our most recent Patreon call, we were able to ship them some spaghetti and meatballs to his house. That was really funny. So if you go up to this higher tier, you could get some spaghetti meal to your house. Aaron Young, Cameos Shadowness, Luke Mears, Mac, Spider Scored Streams, who I just now figured out how to say that name. I thought it was Spiders Corgis Teams or something weird like that for a while. Yeah, I can't read. You supported me for years, but it's never taught me how to read. Richard Mon 12 is our final Patreon, not to be confused with Richard Mon 11. Thank you all to our Patrons for supporting us every month and making sure that we can do these YouTube videos. So I guess with that being said, let's get back to the movie and y'all can get back to watching this video that you're watching.
With Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and more.
The evil villains overthrown.
With superpowers, phantasmagoric.
T-Rex sure wakes up grateful Oni.
What do you do for heroes macaroni?
New Patreon supporters, new Wonder Woman. What else could you want? Well, how about more animated variations? Adventures in the DCU Universe was a comic book series that ran alongside Batman and Robin Adventures and Superman Adventures in 1997, serving as a platform for stories on the broader DC Universe in the now well-established animated adventures format. Artist John Delaney worked on most of the adventures in the DCU run. Wonder Woman and her supporting cast appeared in issue number 1, where she investigates the disappearance of Cheetah after a robbery at the Gateway City Museum. She meets up with the JLA, where they track down a group of villains, including animated staples like Scarecrow and the Parasite, alongside a version of Cheetah with longer hair, similar to her look from the Superman and Batman magazine. Cheetah collides with Wonder Woman again in issue number 3. Cheetahs never win. Or do they? Issue number 5 is the Martian Manhunter story, but pages 2 and 3 occur on the JLA Watchtower, where she relieves John from monitor duty and wishes him a safe trip home. Wonder Woman and Green Lantern Kyle Rayner team up in issue number 11 for No Exit. Diana is featured on the cover, looking very tempted by Green Lantern's power ring, a la Gollum, though it's Green Lantern who narrates most of the interior issue. She's in New York for a conference and joins Green Lantern on patrol before her commitments. They stop a robbery, but when they part ways, Kyle discovers a wormhole in his apartment that sends him into the Pit of Despair, an alternate dimension where NYC is ruled by Lord Toxus. Kyle's last command was for his power ring to seek help, so it finds Diana. With assistance from Jason Blood in town for the same event, she enters the pit, temporarily giving up her powers in order to arrive in the dimension as a mortal. Kyle has no memory of being Green Lantern, but she helps him rally against Toxus, who expels the heroes back into the real world. Diana doesn't do too much in issue number 12, the culmination of an ongoing story arc with the villain Cypher. The League surrenders to Cypher, teleports to his location, but he manages to escape. Diana's silver bracelets were confiscated when imprisoned, so seemingly as a background gag, Kyle Rayner creates green bracelets for Diana, who wears them for the rest of the issue. Once the bad guy is beaten, Diana's the one to haul him off on the final page. Wonder Woman also appears with the JLA in issue number 18, where they face off against the android Amazo, who looks about as different as possible from his animated counterpart. Diana takes a few punches, carries Aquaman into battle, attempts some fancy lasso tricks, and helps Superman back to his feet after a beating, but relegated to the background for most of the issue. The final chapter in the series was issue number 19, titled The Truth About Cats and Gods, with Wonder Woman and Catwoman, drawn like her TNBA design on the cover, but inside with a purple color palette like her contemporary comics counterpart. Catwoman is hired to steal her golden lasso and deliver it to a gangster, intending to summon cat deity Kalnos. Adventures in the DCU artist John Delaney also created the How to Draw DC Superheroes and How to Draw Wonder Woman books in the same animated style as How to Draw Batman and How to Draw Superman, both based on the animated series and illustrated by Ty Templeton. From the cover to the Wonder Woman book, we see that Delaney does not deviate much in Cersei's appearance from Superman and Batman magazine, and Ares has that same blue armor from his Golden Books appearances. And is that Jason Blood from his brief appearance with Wonder Woman in Adventures in the DCU number 11? Could be. Warner Brothers Consumer Products released an animated-style sourcebook in 1999 to inform brand licensing that wanted to use the animated DC superheroes, which evolved Batman to match his redesign in the new Batman Adventures, as Avengers in the DCU had done. This book is currently the holy grail of DCAU stuff that us data boys are looking for. So if you've got a lead on the sourcebook, we would love some scans, or just to buy it from you. We could do that. It was never made available to the general public, so it's pretty rare now. It came with a CD for digital files of the animated assets, including model sheets with color palettes, and action-based poses, like this one of Wonder Woman alongside late 90s JLA-era Green Lantern Kyle Rayner and the hook-handed Aquaman, both depicted in the licensing materials as their mainstream counterparts, rather than their eventual animated designs on Superman the Animated Series. Also featured were Captain Marvel, The Flash, as well as Connor Kent's Superboy alongside Supergirl and Steel from S-TAS. That's pretty cool. Speaking of S-TAS, that's another segue. Let's take a look at the fact that Wonder Woman had Easter eggs during Superman the Animated Series, despite Diana not making herself widely known to the world until Secret Origins, the premiere episode of Justice League. During the episode My Girl, Lana Lang refers to her kidnapper Big Susan as an Amazon.
Let me go, you fashion-disabled Amazon!
So the Greek mythology behind Wonder Woman is certainly intact in the DCAU by then. However, in the episode Blast from the Past Part 1, during an interview with the Kryptonian criminal Mala, Lois Lane name drops her directly, though only sarcastically.
Yeah, right. I'm Wonder Woman. Excuse me? Nothing.
We at the Watchtower Database have a little theory about Wonder Woman revolving around Lois's line that you can learn all about in the linked video after you finish this one. But Ted, you're saying, I want to see more of these alternate looks of the animated Justice League. Well, don't go anywhere because we're going to do just that after this break.
The Super Friends will be back. You know, they didn't just become super overnight. They started it pretty good and had to work up from there. The Super Friends are fortified and enriched and tasty too.
We're almost there. But there's still more Wonder Woman. Legend has it, and by that I mean a speculation thread on the anime superhero DC Animation Forum, Wonder Woman was planned for Season 3 of Superman the Animated Series, in which Legacy Parts 1 and 2 would have been the season openers. One character design for her animated look had a petite frame, sharper face, and more stars on her uniform bottom, alongside other early concept designs for Justice League guest stars. Her appearance in S-TAS was lost to the winds when the showrunners moved on to Batman Beyond, although in the year 2000, the Warner Brothers store released an exclusive maquette from producer and primary artistic director for most of the DCAU, Bruce Timm's initial design, made of cold cast porcelain, sculpted by Glenn Wong, and paired with a certificate of authenticity on the bottom of the base. Only 2,500 numbered pieces were created in all, as well as 250 numbered artist proofs. Are you old enough to remember the Warner Brothers Studios store? It was likely a staple at your local shopping mall in the late 90s, and a particularly glorious place for DC Comics fans. In 1998, the store released a line of beanbag plushies that naturally included Wonder Woman. Although the plush was based on the George Perez comics version rather than any animated style, the plush was released alongside TMBA and S-TAS designed characters, and comics-inspired plushies from Martian Manhunter, Green Lantern, Captain Marvel, and Aquaman. Also on sale was a lithograph series called Squareface, which featured characters from BTAS and S-TAS. The series also showcased Hal Jordan's Green Lantern, as well as a Barry Allen Flash, and of course Wonder Woman, which seems like a Tim illustration, but I can't find evidence to suggest he was the actual artist. I'm leaning more towards Mike Parobeck, but that's just a guess. Other products that came from the source book include a hand-painted ornament and a hand-painted 4x6 inch photo frame in the DC superheroes animated style, aside for Batman-related characters who were all the BTAS versions. Check it out. James, Maddie, and I all have this frame on our shelves with a photo of us. Aww. Kraft Macaroni and Cheese used the DC superheroes on their boxes in 1998. Wonder Woman appeared front and center on one of 3 boxes, with Superman and Green Lantern Kyle Rayner behind her. She was also one of 3 exclusive mailway premium figures available, alongside Batman and Superman. Her figurine held the lasso of truth above her head, and balanced magnetically on a gray rock base with her logo inscribed. My household collected those box receipts in my childhood and got the figurines. Still have them somewhere. The Subway fast food sandwich chain used the DC Superheroes license for their kids packs that same year. One of 4 toys exclusively available was Superman, Batman, and The Flash, featured a small transparent plastic invisible plane with a paper print of Wonder Woman at the controls in the cockpit. Jack in the Box was the second fast food restaurant to acquire the DC Superheroes animated licensing for their Jack's Kids Meals. In 1999, Wonder Woman was one of 7 toys. She had a figurine with an action chop feature. Just squeeze her legs and Diana's arms moved in a bullet-deflecting pose. The paper bag featured her in a JLA-style group shot, and Darkseid menacingly above them, with a maze, crossword puzzle, and trivia section. Jack in the Box released another line of DC superhero toys in 2001, only 5 months before the Justice League series premiere. Wonder Woman was included as a figurine in this batch as well. She was one of 9 toys, with the more unique Shazam and Hawkman, neither of which had yet appeared on screen in the DCAU. The paper bag included a maze, and a group shot with Wonder Woman. Quick Restaurants also got in on the fast food fun that same year, with premium action figures to go along with their kids' meals. Quick was the first to create a line of nothing but fast food figures in the DC superheroes animated style. Wonder Woman was one of 10 toys available. If you're beating yourself up for never seeing these before, don't worry about it. Quick Restaurants released this toy line exclusively to France, Belgium, and Luxembourg. Oddly enough, it seems like that fast food chain didn't actually use the DC Superheroes animated style guidebook, but was more reminiscent of the Subway toys. In fact, the toy brochure included model sheets with all of the characters, and the Wonder Woman depicted is the full version from that headshot in the Subway package, so that's nice to finally see in its entirety. DC Comics also switched publishers for their DC Superheroes branded licensing, from Golden Books to Landals, regarding similar jumbo coloring activity books like Superman and Friends vs. the Villains of Doom, with art by Eric Dosher, Mike DiCarlo, and Stuart Chavez. Note the cover with Wonder Woman fighting a long-haired cheetah once again, and nobody puts Black Adam in the corner. Batman Heroes to the Rescue coloring activity book has her alongside Nightwing and Dr. Fate, as well as the DC Comics Superheroes Super Jumbo coloring activity book, with the same art team joined by Charlie LaGracia, Vincent DePorter, and Bo Hampton. Landals also published Supervillain Roundup Super Jumbo coloring activity book in 2001. The cover was drawn by Lawston Wallace and Dave Cooper, who did not provide interior artwork. It depicts Wonder Woman in battle with the long-haired version of Cheetah again. Inside is a glorious group shot by the interior credits with her alongside animated characters. The villains form a quasi-Legion of Doom we never see in animation, with familiar Team B and S-Task faces with broader DC characters like Grodd, Faust, and Cheetah, all different than their eventual Justice League looks, and rarities in Shazam baddies, Black Adam and Dr. Sivana. Can you find Wonder Woman in this group picture? Then can you tell us where's Nightwing? She naturally appears throughout the book, but specifically after defeating the villains, Diana celebrates her victory in a crowd shot where supporters wave signs that say things like "Impulse for President" and "Wonder Woman is cool," in case you didn't already know. The Superman and his pals portion includes another version of Wonder Woman. Cheetah steals a ruby from the Metropolis Museum, in which there may be a Hippolyta cameo in the background painting there. Or maybe Amethyst of Gemworld? Who do you think that is? Tommy Tejeda drew a serograph of the Justice League for the WB store that included characters mostly in sync with designs from the new Batman and Superman adventures, as well as Wonder Woman consistent with DC superheroes. Tejeda based the work on a sketch by Bruce Timm. The pose was repurposed by Tejeda into a promo piece before it was reworked by Timm. Very cyclical. The Justice League First Mission pre-production animation test also included Wonder Woman, only slightly different than her eventual look on Justice League. Timm has sketched her in many different styles over the years, before landing on the final version we got in Justice League. In 1995, Bruce Timm and Ty Templeton created the official DC Comics employee holiday card, which included a sketch of Wonder Woman by Timm, with the background and animals by Templeton. This is about as friendly a scene as we'll ever see between Wonder Woman and a cheetah. Timm also gravitated towards drawing the classic look from the Golden Age, where Wonder Woman wore longer shorts, her tiara was more like a headband, and her chest plate shaped like an eagle. Additional changes in Timm's designs are noticeable when looking at Wonder Woman's hairstyle, either drawn with straighter hair or more like the Justice League design with a pointed tuft in whatever direction she looks. Timm's convention sketch headshots of Wonder Woman over the years easily show that hair difference, and occasionally depict her face as more angular per his signature style, while others are much more rounded and realistic. One of the more unique sketches depicts Wonder Woman alongside Poison Ivy from the new Batman Adventures, and another with Donna Troy, aka Wonder Girl, in front of the Titans Tower. That would have been cool to see in the DCAU. And we made it! The Justice League animated series premiered in November 2001. The first episode, Secret Origins Parts 1 to 3, officially introduced Wonder Woman as voiced by Susan Eisenberg to the DCAU. This iteration of the character would appear in all 2 seasons of Justice League, all 3 seasons of Justice League Unlimited, and the Justice League vs. the Fatal 5 feature film, as well as the #JL Reunion animated movie, just in case that happens soon and makes this video out of date. So I included it, okay? Wonder Woman's design in Justice League is much taller and leggy than previous designs. According to an Instagram post by Glenn Murakami, it was James Tucker who created the initial model sheet design for Wonder Woman, and Murakami provided touch-ups on the turnaround. Diana also has that pointed tuft of hair that Timm likes to include. She has accented cheekbones and 3 stars on each side of her uniform. Once this version of the character was established for marketing purposes, the DC Superheroes line of merch was pretty much retired in favor of Justice League materials. And you may think we're finished now, but not quite. Even though the premiere of Justice League in 2001 officially positioned Wonder Woman in the DCAU, the pre-Justice League designs of the DC Superheroes brand would return a few years later, specifically more often than the United Kingdom, and well into the production of Justice League Limited. Remember Star Riders? Mattel wasn't finished with their plans, and eventually added Wonder Woman in their famous Barbie doll line. The Playline and Deluxe editions, released at the same time. Both used assets from the DC Superheroes sourcebook on the lunchbox keychain accessory. The packaging featured the character model last seen in the Subway Jack-in-the-Box toys. Even into 2005, the pre-Justice League designs of DC Superheroes continued as various premium prizes available in the United Kingdom. Wonder Woman was one of 8 toys in the Morrison's Supermarket Cafe Kids Meal Packs. Tommy Eugen also created 2 lines of vending machine capsule toys available in the UK and Europe, which used the DC Superheroes licensing as late as 2006, and as far as I'm aware, is the last instance of the brand's usage in this style in any more merchandise. The last piece we'll review is the DC Collectibles Wonder Woman The Art of War hand-painted statue based on artwork by Bruce Timm from 2016. Though it would be easy to mistake it as being inspired by the character model from the Justice League animated series, it is actually based on unique artwork. Sharp viewers may notice a slightly different facial and body structure, hairstyle, and star design on her uniform. The Bruce Timm statue was 10th in the Wonder Woman The Art of War statue line. Only 5,200 were made. This might be my favorite design out of everything today, so I saved the best and most recent for last. Despite all the near misses to be included in the DC animated universe, Wonder Woman had an unforgettable appearance in Justice League, and has endured in animation ever since the conclusion of Justice League Unlimited in 2006, headlining DC Nation shorts, the DC Superhero Girls series of movies, Justice League Action, the 2009 self-titled animated movie, and Bloodlines from 2019 as part of James Tucker's DC animated movie universe, as well as more minor guest appearances in Batman the Brave and the Bold, Scooby-Doo, and Harley Quinn. Kobe Smulders voiced her in the Lego Movie in 2014, and Halsey in 2018's Teen Titans Go to the Movies. And of course, the reason for the timing on this video, Gal Gadot stars as the live-action version of Wonder Woman, most recently in Wonder Woman 1984, as well as 2016's Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, the 2017 theatrical self-titled film, and Justice League. Now, I want to know, which was your favorite pre-Justice League DC Animated Universe version of Wonder Woman? And if Diana had her own animated series in the DCAU style, what would you have liked or expected to see? How would a post-Justice League Unlimited setting affect the series? I've been wondering the same thing myself. So there may be a Wonder Woman The Adventures Continue sort of sequel video coming down the road. Big shout out and thanks to ExperienceTheWonder.com and their extensive online database with high definition photo archives of Wonder Woman merchandise throughout the decades. This is our final video of 2020. We appreciate everyone for sticking around through all the chaos that was this year, as well as the highlights like the Birthday Bash livestream and Batman The Adventures Continue comic coverage, with more in 2 weeks on the holiday special. I'm Ted Kendrick, and as usual, I want to thank all of our awesome Patreon supporters. Go check us out at patreon.com/DCAU Watchtower and find all the cool tiers like early access to videos, live hangouts with me, James, and Maddie, voting for which video we make next, and all sorts of other stuff. We're also on Twitch, streaming books, games, and whatever every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, so why not wander on over there? I think I barely made that work. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any upcoming videos from the Watchtower Database.